Welcome to the New Money Habits podcast, where we talk about how to create a better plan for your money so you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Here are your hosts, Sarah Jones and Nino Villa.
Welcome back, budgeteers. Coach Nino Villa here alongside me, my partner. It is Sarah Jones. Hi, Sarah.
Hello. Hey, everyone.
Greetings and salutations. Where do you hail from today, and what kind of fun things have you been up to?
We are still in Arizona. We will be here for a while. We haven't, as most of our listeners probably know, we record, a couple of weeks before episodes are really released. So it is still kind of holiday time here, and we've done a lot of the farmers markets around here. Nino have been really amazing, and so we've been going to the fall, the holiday farmers markets and some of the craft shows around, just looking at, because I do love small businesses. We've talked about this, before, and just really having conversations with small business owners and all the things that they create. And it's just been really enjoyable, actually, to get out and do those kinds of things and talk with business owners too. So that's what we've been up to lately.
I would imagine that type of experience really allows you into the nooks and the crannies of what the Valley and the state have to offer. When you first start exploring the state, it's kind of easy to hit the big things, right? Like if you haven't been up to the Grand Canyon yet, that's one of those big ones, and Sedona and those sorts of things. But then you start kind of just getting around and really kind of experiencing different towns and everything that they have to offer.
Yeah, it's, and as we travel, we try and hit a lot of farmers markets because you really get to see the true community during those times, right? That during the farmers markets, you really get to see what businesses and how the community supports those businesses. And we've been to some that have been absolutely incredible, lines of 50 or more people for one vendor. And I'm just like, that is incredible to me. And then I go, kind of the money side and building business, my mind starts they've really built a brand. They've really built a name for themselves, and I start picking out, all the other pieces of that. But we try and hit up a lot of farmers markets when we travel. And, the holiday time, let's just be honest, there's something kind of special, magical about, that time as well. So, yeah, one of our favorite activities.
Well, very cool. I know that there is no easy transition. We have a bittersweet episode on our hands today. You and I, we have talked numerous times on this podcast about the different seasons of life and different stages and transitions and all of that. And so I know that, like I said, it's kind of this bittersweet transition time. We're going to move into a different season where things are going to look a little bit different around here.
They are. Hint, 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 hint. It is true. It is true. It's been a really great couple of years. We've been on the air for, every week for 2 years, just over now. And what an amazing experience. We've had incredible guests. We've had some really incredible conversations. And it's just time for me to move on. It's time to go into a new season, of my life and my business, and for you to do the same. It's a new opportunity for you to, carry on and move into something new, for you too. So bittersweet, but also necessary.
Yeah. Yeah. When we got started 2 years ago, I don't know if I had any real sense of how will this go. And the reason being is I had started a couple of like YouTube channels and ventures of this type in the past. None of them have gotten to 100 episodes. And so I am so incredibly thankful and grateful for your collaboration and your partnership all of this time, because it really it kept me coming back. And I just think we really built something pretty cool to, just have conversations that early on we used to talk about. They were taboo, right? We were going to talk about the taboo. And I think we spent the last 2 years really normalizing a lot of different financial conversations. And here we are, over 100 episodes in. I cannot believe it's been 2 years. That went by quickly. But it's been a pretty incredible journey. And I've really appreciated everything that you have poured into this.
Yeah, same. Time really does go by. Sometimes they say the days are long, but the years quick, right? And sometimes when we struggle to come up with, show ideas and, when we got on, we were supposed to record and we ended up not, and, all of that, sometimes those days felt very long, but really the past 2 years has gone by very quick. And, just so grateful to have been here and to have been a part of this and, to have these conversations with you and all of the listeners, because it wasn't just you and I having conversations, right? It really was, I think, about speaking our truth and our hearts to let everybody else know that there are sometimes tough decisions that need to be made, but you can make them and you can talk about them. And sometimes you have to release, some stuff now to make room for something more coming in the future. And you might not always know what that is. And so I think that, if there's a lesson in some of this too, it's just a reminder and encouragement to people that, it doesn't have to be easy. Right. And I think that sometimes our choices, we think they need to be easy. No, choices can be really hard, but sometimes we need to go through those really tough decisions, right? To make room for something, I don't want to say bigger and better, but something that's going to take us to the next level, right? And through the next season. And, again, none of that means it's easy. It just means that this is the process that we go through. We go through it with our money. We go through it in business. We go through it in jobs. We go through it in family. We go through it in all areas. And this is one of them for us. So
that's right. I think the last 2 years have been an amazing season of growth. And I know I ventured out into things that were new and different for me. I don't want to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure you've shared that same sentiment with me, right? Moving into things that you haven't done before and growing and learning and just taking all of that experience and parlaying it. And I want to highlight the fact that although there's a transition and a new season upon us, you're not stepping away from financial coaching and having these conversations and still being passionate about it. So I want to make sure that our listeners know where they can continue to follow you and what you have coming up next.
Yeah, no, I am definitely not stepping away from any of that. And I really want to say, heartfelt thank you to everyone that's been around from episode 1. Thank you. And all the new listeners, thank you alike, right? It is because of all the listeners, that have been coming back that we've been able to be on and continue. And so, I just want to say thank you for being here to everybody that's listened and, through the support, right? That everyone's given. So I am stepping away from the New Money Habits podcast. I know that is continuing on. And I know, Nino, you might be talking about that in another episode of what people can expect and all the new fun things. And I hope that, everyone continues to listen. But I am just stepping away from this. And so if you want to, follow along, if you still want to connect, I would love to connect with anybody. Ahead for me, still more travel, still helping people with their money, goodness, helping to develop more businesses, all of that is still in my future. Definitely not stepping away from money coaching, because that is, it has my heart. helping people there. So, yeah, I know in the show notes there will be links. So I'd love it if you guys, followed along. Send me a message. Let me know that you're here, because I'd love to continue to be a resource for everyone out there, and be a voice for those that maybe can't find their words yet. So, yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, as you mentioned just a moment ago, we will make sure that links to your social media are in the show notes. I know that there's a couple of different ways people can follow you. Obviously, keeping up with the Joneses Financial Coaching, both on Facebook and Instagram. And I know we've plugged it for you in the past, but we'll go ahead and plug it again. If you like to follow Sarah in her travel journeys, she shares all of that through the lens of the vehicles that I'm not doing this justice, but your camper and the motorcycle, right? Like it's through that.
Yeah, it's actually all three, and that is transitioning. So there's going to be some transitions coming up. But yes, it kind of comes from our camper's name is Carmen. Our truck, we affectionately named him Little Jimmy, and our motorcycle is Vicky. And we've got a couple of other ones going to be going to add to the family here coming up. So we do share a lot of our travels. The name currently is Carmen and Little Jimmy. Again, check out those show notes. But those, we talk a lot about our travels, places that we've been, things that we're learning, people that we've met, all of those things. And I'll just say we run several businesses. We've got a product business that we run out of our camper, and people are absolutely amazed that we are able to make and sell products out of, a 41-foot fifth wheel. And so, links are to that, those pages, and my husband and I have a podcast with that business as well. So lots of fun things, lots of areas that we cover. So pick your poison, so they say.
Well, it just means that there's lots of different ways to engage with, follow, and interact with you and your content. I know that I've enjoyed the segments where we check in on you and where you are and what you're up to, because I live a little vicariously through you as you travel about the country and do things that maybe one day when my two children are out, getting their college education, much like you and your husband kind of seize that opportunity at that time in your lives. Maybe, but until that day, I get to follow Carmen and Little Jimmy and Vicky and all the adventures that you and your husband have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it is a little bittersweet, but just, my heartfelt thank you to everyone. And I hope everybody continues to listen. And similarly, I hope you come and find me and look me up somewhere too. Whether it's on the road or in social media. I'd love to meet you. So.
Awesome. Well, and as you said, I'll do a separate episode letting our listeners know kind of what to expect and where is the New Money Habits podcast heading as we head into a new year, and what direction we're going to kind of take that. But as Sarah has mentioned, the New Money Habits podcast continues on, and she's got a lot of different things going on as well. And so there's plenty of opportunity to kind of keep tabs on both of us, even though it won't be together.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, on behalf of all of our listeners, I want to thank you once again for hanging out with me for the last 2 years, hanging out with our audience, just bringing an absolute plethora of expertise and knowledge and experience, whether it was sharing different client stories, or just how you and your husband do certain things, and just all of that great knowledge. We've had some really good, I hope, helpful conversations because of all of that experience that you bring to the table. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you. It's it's been fun. I've learned a lot too. So it's what it's all about.
That's right. Right. Financial literacy. It's all about learning. We are constantly learning. And I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, during the course of those 2 years, you went from physical envelopes. No, it wasn't that. No, I almost misspoke. It was the credit card thing. It was the using credit cards there, during our time together. It was, don't use them ahead of time, because you're paying for everything that has already happened. But you guys made a shift, and it's been working out for you, right?
It has been. Yeah, I think it's about, really, so many messages, right? And so many places to learn. But I think it's about doing what works for you for the time, and then seeing what other options are available, because not everything works forever. Right. And wherever you're at, things are going to change. And there isn't just this one, where we've said it over and over and over. There's not this cookie cutter method to use with your money. And what works for one person isn't going to work for somebody else. But you really have to look at maybe what did work for you in the past. Maybe it's not going to work the same way in the future. And, so that's where you become flexible, and you really look at, okay, what were the pieces of something that did work or didn't, right? And then what can I change so I come up with something that does? And I think that's real. I think that's key when you're really talking about financial literacy, right? And getting really good with your money. It's not doing the same thing over and over and over. It's really about finding what works and being flexible so you can continue to tweak and move things, right? And bring in new tools to help you get through the next period of time. So,
there's those seasons again.
They are.
All right. Well, thank you again. And I'm guessing this won't be the last time that you and I collaborate on something. But for the time being, like we said, bittersweet. I wish you the absolute best in everything that you are working on and is in the works. I know it's going to lead to great things, and we'll carry the torch for the New Money Habits podcast from here.
Awesome. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nino. And maybe I'll say a final bye for now, friends.
Thank you for listening to the New Money Habits podcast, brought to you by New Money Habits and Keeping Up with the Joneses Financial Coaching. Submit your questions to our host by emailing podcast@newmoneyhabits.com. Be sure to subscribe to be notified of future episodes. Join our growing group of like-minded people on Facebook and follow us on your favorite platform. Music provided by Summer School.